He's trying to get him to say because kid helps. He's like, because he can. And
he won't do it.
He's like, God damn it.
All right, we'll get the bump music going here. Get that going. There it is. You're live, says YouTube.
Says we're
Are
live.
we? Are we truly?
So.
Dutch Chattahoochee in studio. We missed last week because I believe Mr. Nakatomi flew you to Dubai for a golf tournament or something. He just wanted you to roll on the cart.
No, I went to Montreal
with Mr. Nakatomi.
I went to Canada. Went
Yoshio
saw my people.
Is Yoshio still his personal assistant, or did he fire that guy?
He fired him.
God dang, he goes through personal assistants.
Yeah, dude, he got some new guy who's okay, but the problem with the new guy is he doesn't like sports.
Yeah.
And so there was like nothing for me to talk about with him.
Yeah.
He doesn't even like music, so I was like, well, what do you fucking like, dude?
The one guy I liked pretty good, Koji. I saw him. He got a job with I don't know who in the NPB, but he does press stuff.
Oh,
so
for real?
Yeah, but Mr. Nakatomi took Dutch Chattahoochee next weekend, but he's back in studio. Myself,
I'm here.
I got the Fernando Rodney hat because we're gonna talk some Fernando Rodney.
I'm alive.
I'm here and alive. Go to whatever turnstile cam. I don't know. I think Fernando Rodney actually did it the other way, but for purposes of camera work, I'm just doing this one. But that's what we're doing. We're up in studio today. We're gonna talk all kinds of baseball. My big teaser was the Yanks picked signs. I do want to talk about cheating and kind of put everything to rest. It'll probably come up again in like next year. We'll have like a cheating show and talk about the history of it. But I have like pretty strong historical thoughts on cheating. And anyway, but the big takeaway, you probably shouldn't care too much about it because it's been happening forever. But I found tons of instances of Yankees cheating. So like the whole Astros Yankees thing, I was like, any team bitching about cheating, a little bit of, and I know you have different opinions on it, but it's like glass houses throwing stones at other glass houses, and I don't know, man.
My problem is there's different levels of cheating. There's like the standard cheating that happens regardless, and then there's just shit that's unnecessary.
Yeah, I
pushing
think,
it too far.
Yeah, I think there's a technological line you can cross over, but we'll get into that. So that'll be like the first segment I'll tee up. It's not like you're gonna tease the big hot one and then make everybody listen to 2 hours of our bullshit to get to the tease. That'll be the first segment. Other stuff I'm talking about
Hello,
is...
Jason. Jason just came in.
What's up, Jason, dude? I appreciate you, man.
So we were laughing before we came on.
Bonnie?
Before we came on here, because we were talking about the video that you guys posted where you were trying to get Jake to say helps because he can't. And you're like, God damn it, kid.
Ken helps. Ken Phelps helps.
It was the fucking funniest thing ever because you're like, Kid Phelps. He goes, because he can. He's like, God damn it, Ken Phelps helps.
You can take that, frankly, that slogan to the fucking White House. It's so good. I'm not.
It was fucking hilarious. That little segment, dude. I was laughing.
I
can't
take that.
Watch it now without laughing so hard. But
you can take the ATG. You can take the ATG basically political consulting all the way to the White House for Ken Phelps, as far as I'm concerned. I got some thoughts for.
Was he like legit running for mayor or something?
Well, he is now.
Oh,
based on ATG's slogan.
Like,
my understanding is he's getting a presidential campaign put together. I could
be
wrong.
He's going to run for the Prime Minister of Canada.
So yeah, segment one. I'm just going to talk cheating because I like going into old baseball biographies, and forever and ever I was like, Mickey Mantle got signs. He got signs. I read that somewhere. I didn't dream that, and I couldn't find the book. I looked in Jim Bouton Ball 4. I was reading autobiographies of Whitey Ford, and Billy Martin had a couple, and I read them, and I was like, I know I fucking found it. Like 2 days ago, I found it. But Whitey Ford's too. Like people like you might want to look at the World Series rings Whitey Ford achieved. And the Yankees World Series there, Whitey Ford's postseason earned run average in his record, and maybe then read his autobiography, and then if you still want to talk shit about other teams cheating, okay.
Speaking of which, I don't want to get into it right now, but that fucker from New York, man, that was saying the Rays.
That's the second tease. Why don't you tease that segment? That's another segment.
So I'm going to say one name, and that's all I'm going to say. But there was this guy from New York Sports Radio.
Say his name. I think I wrote it in
I'm saying his name, dude. His name was
shit on him.
Evan Roberts from WFAN. WFAN. What kind of station name is that? WFAN. So it's a station in New York called WFAN.
Well, they got to be a W, right? East of the Mississippi.
Yeah, there's always got to have
and then they're
numbers.
fans of sports.
Like
sports radio.
The one in Tampa, what is it? Wade? I call it Wade, but it's WDAE or some shit.
We work for the Cat.
Yeah.
Until Nakatomi fired everybody.
Listen here, New York, Mr. Evan Roberts from WFAN. Shut the fuck up. But
he says the Rays are cheating. He says the Rays are cheating. Just record says they're cheating.
He says that all of a sudden these unknown, not so good players are going off. It's like, dude, that's all I'm going to say right now.
Take a look at their pitching, I'm saying. But anyway, that's a good segment. We're going to talk UTSA DBU is a huge series for the local area here. I really think
Trey Robertson, that's not my cousin.
I
don't know, man.
Big implications for the NCAA Super Regionals because last year DBU was the at-large bid. Conference USA is probably only going to get one at-large bid, so you're going to either win the conference tournament or you got to get that at-large bid. And honestly, if one of the because UTSA has been ranked a whole bunch this year, it's one of these two teams either is going to win it. And maybe the other one gets the at-large bid, but if you run into a situation where like La Tech last year got hot and won the tournament, then it's probably at-large bid between DBU and UTSA. And we can talk about the arcane Byzantine RPI systems that the NCAA use that don't make a whole hell of a lot of sense. But, I mean, I think there's big implications for postseason right now for the Dirty Birds. Go Birds. What else you got, bud? I got a couple other segments I'll tease on the roadmap.
Oh, other than getting into the whole segment with the Evan Roberts guy, obviously we got to talk about Vida Blue because the great legend passed away.
Yep, Vida.
And then we got talk about Fernando Rodney and why we think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yes,
as
Fernando
a closer,
Rodney for sure is on the list. He had some fucking really weird SABERmetrics because it's advanced stats a couple years I've never seen so good.
Like as a Rays guy, I remember him definitely with the Rays.
Yeah, with everybody.
So, but there's arguments to be had just because he played for so many different teams and he wasn't like dominant for like one team for a good while. But he was good with who he for every team he played for. He just got moved around, but.
And check out my
he's
cap.
A Hall of Famer.
He is a Hall of Famer, and you don't think he's fucking retired because it's
Still
2023
playing.
and he's pitching for the Mexico City Diablo Rojos, whose hat I'm sporting for him, and he's probably wearing it exactly like this as he's warming up right now.
Like once I found out that he wore it sideways for his dad, I was like, oh shit, because
I'm a piece of shit.
I've always liked Fernando Rodney as a player and as a person, but like when he would blow a save with the Rays, I'd be so fucking pissed. I'm like, fucking wear your hat straight, dude, so you can fucking see better. But then I realized, it's an homage to his father. Never mind. Wear it how you want, dude. Cool with me.
Music we can do road mapping. This is a good one. Okay, other things on the roadmap. I'm going to talk a little bit about Saber. I saw an announcer get clowned because Blake Schnell was like, what the fuck is WRC Plus? And the announcer was like, I don't know. And since I'm doing the Saber
RC
course.
Plus?
WRC Plus, which stands for Weighted Runs Created Plus.
But, you know what it stands for? Which RC Cola?
Yeah, it could be, but like nobody knows. So like I'm just going to talk about like what I think the actual real useful applications of SABERmetrics are, and that like fans don't need to know this weird shit. They just don't. So that's on the roadmap. Lone Star Conference playoffs is happening right now. You got Angelo State rather playing Lubbock Christian. St. Edwards versus UT Tyler. That'll be one. What else I got on here? Clyde Wright. Let's see if I can switch to this cam. Nope, this cam. I can put it. That's Clyde Wright with the Yomiuri Giants. Clyde Wright with the Yomiuri Giants card off of eBay. Thank you very much. What else on the roadmap? Checking with ATG guys. ATG 159 out. MiLB Hatbilly. I got some because what Jake Whalen does for MiLB Hatbilly is so cool that I was like, dude, you know what? I got some ideas that he doesn't have to do, but I'm gonna tease that. So we'll just check in with those dudes.
And why Vida Blue should also be
Vida Blue
be a MLB Hall of Famer.
He should be a Hall of Famer because he told Charlie Finley or the press that he hoped his owner fucking drops dead on his face, and then he pitched for him the next year because he had to.
See, like I wish players nowadays would be more vocal, instead of saying because like. My problem, dude, with players now is they're like, I'll just go somewhere else. No, stay with the team, talk shit, be like, if you don't pay, like, you know,
shit on your owner and play.
Like, I enjoy this organization, but the owner's a piece of shit or something. You know what I'm saying?
And we'll probably see, like I was looking also TCL. That's on the road. That's the last segment on the roadmap. Just because the River Monster's coming up, we're gonna try to do as much as we can to prep Smokey Joe and get good camera work and get that whole broadcast ready for this summer. But we're running out of time. We got like 3 weeks left, and TCL is here, man. Seguin River Monsters. I'll just do this. Do a little play with the graphics. Whoa. Seguin River Monsters, best ownership, best organization ever. And we're going to work on a post-game presser system that's pretty good, I think.
I think that there should be a post-game.
Better than last year?
Regardless of win or lose.
Yeah.
Just have a general discussion, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I want to see if someone gets pissed. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they lose, like this fucking team or something, you know? Show some emotion.
Yeah, I mean, it just took a lot of editing last year to do post game, so I just want to roll it over and do a live post game and just click it back onto their YouTube and hopefully like that. But that's it.
I would say, like, when we would stream the games on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
They would get more views than anything else we would do. So
yeah, no,
there's
like,
a lot of
nobody watching our shit, but
there's a lot of content we could do with that. I do want to do like
I'm gonna put the camera on you and grab a drink. Can you fill air, buddy, and talk about what you're talking about?
So since we're Vita Blue has passed away recently, you know how ATG always has their like Hall of Fame like voting. Yeah. So like if anybody's listening, can we please put Vita Blue in, because it's gonna get to the point where like I'm gonna have to really get upset with people, and I'm really gonna have to fucking like start calling people out and by name and saying things that I will probably regret, will probably not regret. But can we just like push them in, please? Because I'm really asking a favor from everyone there to make Vita Blue a Hall of Famer. He's an Oakland A's Hall of Famer, but he deserves to be in the ATG Hall of Fame and the MiLB Hall of Fame.
Hate your owner. The Hate Your Owner Hall of Fame.
Yeah, like fuck you, owner.
Honestly, his career like was essentially ended early because all the bullshit.
Yeah, and see, like
he just like didn't want to mess with it.
But like I said, since there's players that deserve to be in the Hall of Fame and some that should be fucking kicked out. That's what they should do.
Kick some dudes out. I like that big kick out committee.
They should go back in there and be like, okay, let's kick this guy out and put someone else in.
You're kind of a baseball genius. I don't know why you don't work in the executive offices, because the kick out committee is genius. The base fighting in baseball and penalty box, because genius.
Because, like, I don't think there technically is a rule that says you can't kick somebody out.
You can kick people out.
You could say, you could say, I'm a Hall of Famer, but I'm not in the hall. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm outside the building.
I'm not saying this is going to happen. What if, like, some, like, facts came forward that were really horrible about a person, and you're like, there's a plaque of this dude in here. I think we need to take that down.
Like, he's kind of
I don't know.
Not a good person.
Well, I'm not. I don't want to say a horrible crime because it just sounds bad. But but something like that could happen. That could happen. Right?
You can.
Well, you're in charge of the Take 'Em Out committee.
Because we always like to dig in people's past. So why not do it with the Hall of Fame? Be like, you know what? You're like I said earlier. You're in the Hall of Fame. Right, you're technically a Hall of Famer,
but
you're not in the hallway. Get your ass out of the hallway.
What's the standard though? Because there's like accounts.
Can you be you know what? You could say, hey, I'm a front yard Hall of Famer, front yard famer,
but then, like,
I don't know what you would say there, but
maybe like unsubstantiated account. Ty Cobb like pistol whipped a man to death on the way to a baseball game.
Like, Ty Cobb,
it's like he's still in. They're like,
you know what?
He's not. We're not taking that plaque down. You just killed a guy.
And
I'm not saying Ty Cobb killed the guy. I'm saying I heard that or read that.
Yeah, we heard
that he might have pistol whipped somebody to death.
Which
is also a crazy murder. Like, you're not going to shoot him with the pistol. You have something to kill them with, but no, I'm just going to keep beating you.
And guess what? The Ty Cobb cod sandwich is out. Like, he's no longer
the Cobb
cod sandwich.
Cobb salad.
Available now at your local. What is that?
Is a Cobb salad named after him? I don't know.
What is that fucking fish place? Long John Silver's. So, coming soon, the Ty Cobb cod sandwich.
Yeah, and I've heard so many different things about Ty Cobb. People were like, it was like one bad autobiography said he was the biggest a-hole ever.
Who, Ty Cobb?
And then other people were like, dude, he wasn't that bad, man. Like, he played dirty, but that was his thing because he liked to win and everybody kind of knew it. I don't freaking.
That was like Joe DiMaggio. Like, he had problems, but
that's right. Do you want to talk about how he treated Maryland, or you want to talk about how he hit?
Hit
baseball?
Maryland? Yeah. You know what, man? Here's the thing, man. So what if he
we're
had
terrible, dude.
So what if he had a couple drinks? The man was thirsty. You know?
I'm just like, I'm like, here's the thing, like, dude, I'm terrible for laughing, but there's like the Family Guy where Peter Griffin's
cancel
like,
corn.
Mike Tyson hit women.
Jason
There's
said
nothing.
cancel corn cops.
There's nothing funny about that. And then Peter's like, but
Corn.
there isn't anything funny about that. I get that,
No.
but yeah, there might have been some domestic abuse situations
Yeah.
with DiMaggio, Maryland, possibly.
Because
Allegedly.
didn't he find out that she was apparently or allegedly cheating on him with the what was those-
Kennedys? The
Yeah.
Kennedys? Something
Dude.
was there.
Every time I hear the name Kennedy, I think of that wrestler back in the day that would go Kennedy.
Yeah,
But
I don't know.
like, it's
I don't
all
know, man.
speculation about what happened with her and the Kennedys. Kennedy.
All right, well, let's kick it. Let's
But-
kick it into segment one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give my super duper hot takes.
Go for
Super
it. buddy.
duper hot takes. And I know where you stand. Like, you hate the Astros and the level of cheating. And here's the two caveats I'm gonna throw out here to kind of like.
Let's clear this up
Yeah.
one time. The modern age Astros, not the previous.
Well, I mean, you're with me like the universal DH. You're gonna hold the grudge, and that, I'm
Yeah.
like, I respect that because I will never let go of the universal DH rule being hog shit. So it is what it is. Everybody's gonna have their opinions, entitled to their opinions. I get that. And the two things I'll throw out on like Yankees cheating and whatever, if you like want to go like throw stones at glass houses while you live in one, but two things. I like to see the Yankees lose, but the problematically for the Yankees is, as a baseball lover of the sport, I love the Yankees organization and the history of them, and Mickey Mantles and Whitey Fords, and Yogi Bear's got a movie coming out, It Ain't Over, which I'm super psyched for. I mean, there's so much cool shit about the Yankees, so I don't really, it's like a love-hate, but I'm not a, like, wasn't born in New York, I played summer ball, Schenectady Mohawks, what's up, but like, this is, you know, and honestly, the Skiing River Monsters and Mike G and Scotty P, like, you know, like there's just like good Yankee fans, and they got a great fan base, and it's so much class about that organization, which I think speaks to maybe how not big of a deal cheating is. When I start talking about, that's just like evidence out there.
Well, that's my thing too with the Yankees.
But
yeah.
that's one about the Yankees. I'm not really a Yankee hater. I like to see them lose, but I just love the history and class of that organization. Second thing is, I am 100% in agreement with you on there is two levels, I would say, of cheating.
There's two levels.
Because like there's just so much like historical accounts and autobiographies of cheating that's been going on in baseball forever. There's the dudes on the field, the runner on seconds picking signs. There's the bench warming middle relief pitcher in the dugout who's like telling coach, like, dude, I think I picked the third base's signs and they're going to steal. Like, that's actually, you're telling your players, like, see if you can get their signs. Or the catcher's like putting his indicator too low and the first base coach can see that he just put one finger down. He's like, all right, get a hit now. And you know that means fastball is coming. So there's like a level of engineering within the team that happens on the field that's been happening forever. And some people would say it's dirty. You know, I mean, there's like, you're spiking players like Ty Cobb, but it's like, now it's part of history. Dudes, like when we did like bunt steal from second base, we'd cut the bag at third. We wouldn't even fucking touch it with a two-man umpire crew. We were taught that in junior college. So it's like, there's stuff on the field that has been going on forever and ever. And it is what it is. And frankly, it's your duty to defend against it. Like, if you're the catcher, don't put your signs that low so they're hanging below your ass and everybody can see them. You know, or you're the pitcher catcher and you think they're getting hit, like, change up your signs. Like, there's a level of accountability for the people who are getting fucking cheated on to defend against that part of baseball. So that's like layer one, and I'm cool with that. Now we're going to talk about like the thing that's probably not cool, which is the fucking Astros are going to like use cameras that are part of like the broadcast. They're going to put them in the stadium, and you're going to have that relaying back to like some dude who's not on the team. He's just back there with a laptop. That's shitty. Okay, I agree that's shitty. We're going to talk a little bit about Billy Martin and his accounts, and then a little bit about Whitey Ford, legendary Yankees, both of them, and how they felt about cheating. But you can't say Yanks, or really probably any organization, hasn't had some level of cheating. So that's kind of where I'm going with it. I think there's a dividing line between what's to be expected and like it is cheating, but everybody knows that you're trying to pick signs when you're running on second. Fucking change up your signs. Like, if that wasn't the case, then the catcher just put one down with a runner on second. But they don't, because, like, he's going to fucking steal them. So you're trying to steal signs if you're trying to beat the other team. But once you start bringing in dudes out of the stands at binoculars and cameras,
that's too much.
That's too much.
Yeah, that's
okay.
Too much.
So I'm on board with both of those. So let's get into the cheating accounts that I've found, and you tell me what you think. You can respond to any of the shit I just said, but I'm going to read.
So before you get started on your little book thing, in terms of cheating, how do you feel about like pitchers using that sticky substance on their fingers to like get the velocity up? Because I have zero problems with that.
That's a great question.
Because here's my thing. You can have all the velocity in the world. You can throw fast as fuck, but if you don't have good pinpoint accuracy or good like placement, it doesn't matter how fast you throw. So like I don't have a problem, but I get it because like if you are a great pitcher, good placement, and you have velocity, you're gonna get some dudes.
Yeah,
but
I think they're over policing the grip shit.
I don't have a problem with the sticky substance at all.
And we're going to read some stuff in here from Whitey Ford on spitballs and doctoring the baseball and cutting the baseball and stuff that's just been a part of the sport forever. And the thing about that is like, once you figure out how to do it, and the Scherzer thing, because I don't know if you saw that thing. I can't remember who it was, like David Cohn posted a video of him fucking with like alcohol in like a rosin bag.
Yeah, because Trey Roberts just said Yanks offset all the cheating with the booze.
Yeah, I mean,
so when you said the alcohol just now,
the David Cohn video, and then like who else was on Twitter was oh god, that
guy.
No, he was the Rangers and the Angels pitcher. Was awesome. I love him. He was good, and he threw the gyro ball.
I thought about C.J. Wilson.
Yeah, C.J. Wilson.
C.J.
Wilson
and
posted
his racers.
He posted a pretty good thread the day after the Scherzer thing. It was like, dude, that was an own goal by the umpires. They shot themselves in the crank because they told him to fucking clean his hand with alcohol, which makes that shit stickier. When you try to do that on a hot day. So, but we'll get into like spitballs and all that other stuff. But let's like legitimately talk about like Yankees accounts. Okay, so. This is Billy Ball. This is from Billy Ball with Phil Pepe. This is a legendary. This is his second book because he had Billy Martin #1. So Billy's a legendary Yankee. Played
Guillermo Ball.
Yeah,
Guillermo Ball.
Some hitters love to get signs. Okay, let me preface this before. So he's talking about spitballs and teaching the spitball and guys that did it, and he's like, I don't give a shit, dude. It's part of the game. And if you get Billy Ball and you think I'm full of shit, start in chapter 13 and read that entire chapter. The entire chapter is about Billy and the cheating that he knows about, and it's not a big deal to him. Teams have been known to plant a man in the center field seats with binoculars to pick up the catcher's signs. I know of one case where the guy in center field wore white shoes or sneakers. If the batter saw one white shoe, it meant the catcher had called for a fastball. Two white shoes, the catcher had called for the curve. You can only do this on a day when the ballpark isn't very crowded. So I'm not saying that that's kind of open to interpretation whether they did that. But then the next paragraph starts, some hitters love to get signs. Mickey Mantle, for instance, if he knew what was coming, Mickey could just sit on a pitch and crush it. But Mickey never really needed any help to crush a pitch. I needed all the help I could get, but I never liked to get the signs. I found it made me too impatient a hitter. When I knew it was coming, I would jump out at the pitch instead of waiting on the ball the way a good hitter must, and it would mess up my swing. And he goes, all these things have been going on in baseball for years. Cheating is as much part of the game as scorecards and hot dogs, although I don't really look upon it as cheating as much as getting any edge you can. Everybody does it. If you don't, you're at a disadvantage. And then he shares a hilarious anecdote where he got ejected from a game and then started managing by telephone from a bar. But that's, I don't know. Like it's hard to believe that people weren't like picking signs for all these teams. And now that's a Yankee. He's talking about Mickey Mantle getting signs, whether that was from a second baseman or a dude in the outfield. I don't know. It was a long career. But here's one that you cannot deny if you're the ultimate like purist, like Yankees would never, ever cheat. Read Whitey Ford's autobiography. And I don't know if this won't work, right? I can't do that. I've got to go back to this. The web capture, there we go. So I'll go pull Whitey Ford's postseason stats. Whitey Ford's bio, and here's another reason why Billy Martin and Whitey Ford put shit like this in their autobiographies, because it wasn't a big deal. Like fucking who? Like everybody was doing it. I don't give a shit. I had fucking tricks up my sleeves. You better be ready for them. And so Whitey Ford had a pinky ring made where he could cut the ball. He talked about throwing like mud balls and spitballs and how he would kind of like doctor the baseball and look like he's rubbing it off. He's like, the umpires ain't gonna catch it because by the time they get the ball back, the shit's falling off of it. You know.
Some pitchers use their sweat too, like when they would take.
Yeah, sweat. And he's like, there's like everybody had their system on how they did it, and it was. But if you look at, let me go to Baseball Reference and pull like Whitey Ford. Whitey Ford in his book says he's like, dude, I would cover up the fucking rubber with dirt. I'd be pitching 3 feet in front of the mound.
Whitey Ford sounds like a fucking folk singer. Dude.
Well, Whitey Ford sings the blues.
Yeah.
What's his name's album? Everlast did that album.
There was a band. Fuck, I can't remember. They had a song title that was similar.
All right, so Whitey Ford's got 6 World Series. So if you're worried about tainted World Series of the Astros, Whitey Ford has 6 titles. Fucking Hall of Famer. And his postseason was phenomenal. He's a fucking clutch guy. If I can find the postseason stats here. Here's postseason pitching. Dude was fucking studly. Postseason pitching. Postseason ERA is fucking 2.71, man. 1-1, 2-2. He was big and big. Even these losses were like 1-run ball games. Like he was a big part of a lot of World Series titles. He was a fucking stud. He wasn't even that big of a guy. I always wondered if he was like a Maddox style, because he was a 5'10", 170-pound guy. But he, even in his autobiography, which is called Slick, he's like, you want to talk about getting some you want to talk it's right behind you there.
I call people slick all the time. Like,
yeah, that's right. There's Slick. There's Slick. I got to go. Let me go back to here so people can see this, so that I didn't do the thing with OBS. You can do like the web capture. All right, but there's Whitey Ford's postseason, but right behind Dutch over here, right there, you can see Slick on the shelf right next to the Spose hat. Ball 4, Jim Boots on, talk shit. But yeah, fucking guy's throwing a fastball 3 feet in front of the of course he's going to blow it by you. Yeah. You know? So, like, but that's an acceptable level of cheating to me. If fucking Mantle was getting signs, I don't care. If fucking Billy Martin's or Whitey Ford's cutting the ball and pitching 3 feet in front of the mound, fucking defend against it, you know? Do what you got to do to win. And the last thing, and this is kind of, I was straight up, people's like, oh, well, you're an Astros apologist. Well, I am a little bit, and here's why.
No apologies from me. Fuck 'em.
And this is why. So, like, I think that's bullshit that you use. I think it's bullshit that you're going to use cameras and fucking computers and have those dudes. Okay, but
I think they had a camera like back behind, like in the clubhouse. I think they had.
Yeah. No, they had.
Yeah,
they're doing all kinds of crazy shit.
And now Tuve's the goddamn worst one.
Well, that's according to John Boy and the buzzer theory. But that's what kills me about it, because I think there's a ton of good players on Astros, and they did some shady shit as an organization. But I was like, man, I don't want dudes' entire careers to be tainted like that, because I don't think they deserve it. Because one, I don't know who is in on it, whether Altuve or which guys, we don't really know. But they didn't set up the system. It wasn't like the player going, hey, put up a camera for me. Hey, do this. Hey, do that. These guys were in a clubhouse where they said, hey, we got the signs. And it's because, like, Billy Martin was like, I don't want to know. It fucks me up. So, like, these dudes were literally – the shit was put in place by the organization, and players had access to the information at home games. Whether they used it or not, that was their choice. But they didn't institute it. So, and I could tell you, if a fucking runner on second was telling me what pitch was coming, I would try to use that information. So if you're given the information by your organization, whether you're like, fucking, they just told me a fastball's coming, what the fuck are you going to do? You're going to try to hit a fucking fastball. You're not the guy who put up the camera. You're the guy that got the fucking signal or the trash can bang or whatever it was, like, fastball's coming.
Look, I didn't buy the heroin. I'm just shooting it up. It's the same fucking thing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, like, you could
have said, no, I don't want to fucking cheat.
Well, okay, here's an example then I would say for you. You're in the batter's box right now, Dutch, right, and then you just heard banging on the trash can. What are you going to do? You're just going to ignore that? Like, how do you turn your fucking brain off?
I would say something about it. Like I wouldn't like. Maybe that's just me.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, that's why
I'm not a pro player, but like I would not. Me personally, I would not be able to take part of that.
Right.
Like, I'd have to say something.
And so, and that kind of like goes to the other part of the argument, right? So the say something. The Mike Fires, the dude who like left the Stros and started telling people.
As I learned in retail, see something, do something.
See something, say something. So like he did, and that was the other thing that kills me about it is because if you look, there's tons of fucking evidence that so many motherfuckers in the league knew the Stros were cheating before. And whether they didn't blow the whistle because they didn't want MLB looking at them, like, we're doing shit too. That's how it is. You just got to defend against it because organizationally, like the Nationals, people were like, we knew shit was going on in Houston, and we intentionally defended against it. So if you're the New York Yankees with fucking, like, hurt ass based on the history, especially, I mean, Whitey Ford's just one that you know of because he fucking basically came out and said it. But, I mean, you know, Billy Ball, all this other stuff. So it's like you're going to really have a burnt ass about this when other organizations are actively defending against it, and you're a fucking... Like, my sympathy is so thin. Like, I think it's bullshit what they did, but my sympathy is so fucking thin because other organizations defended against it. And to me... I don't care if it's fucking computers or it's a guy with binos in the outfield and tennis shoes. Once you get outside the field and it's not the players picking it, it's bullshit. So the technology is like, I don't care if it's fucking Chat GPT AI picking your signs. It's just as bullshit as binoculars. Point being, no matter how technical picked signs get, it comes down to it's just a pick signs. Defend against it by fucking switching up your signs.
Well, there's a difference of like your players noticing what the pitcher's doing with the signs and stuff, and getting a buzzer that you know what's coming.
So I'm with you on that. There's a different level, but there is to me.
So if I don't have to do any of the work and I have people doing it for me, that's bullshit. But like if your team itself is figuring it out, like he's putting his glove here when he's doing this pitch, or he's standing a certain way, that's different. But if you don't have to do any work and you have people doing it for you, then that's bullshit, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But do you,
Jose? I didn't do nothing today. Get out of here! Come on, man.
I don't know. I'm starting to fucking wonder about all that buzzer shit. I don't really buy that. But even if it doesn't really matter, like who cares if somebody shows you a finger or buzzes you? A pick sign is a pick sign is a pick sign is a pick sign. The only way I am cool with it if it's players in the dugout and on the field and coaches figuring it out within the game. Once you go to binos, I don't care if it's fucking binos or a supercomputer, it's bullshit level cheating. But that said, any pick sign is defended the same fucking way, and the dude, like the binos in the outfield, is just like historically been there for evers and ever. So I'm just like, I don't know. That's my take on it.
It'll be a never-ending discussion.
Never-ending discussion, but if you're Yankees talking shit about cheating, pump your brakes and read Whitey Ford's biography and start looking at his World Series rings.
Speaking of Yankees cheating, should we move into this next little thingy here?
But again, I think Whitey Ford's cheating was cool. Like, I was like, whatever. Fucking should have said something while you were getting your ass, while he was sticking it up your ass and throwing like a shutout. That's when you should have gone to the umpire like, dude, he's pitching 3 feet in front of the fucking mound, man, and police it. So I got no issues with Whitey Ford. I do have issues with the Astros, but again, my sympathy is very thin. And whenever, and again, it's headline grabbing, right? It's like, this is like, let's talk about it and sell fucking laundry detergent because we're going to get clicks and make these big cheating scandals. Like, fucking people that are baseball historians, when you hear about cheating, you're like, I don't fucking defeat this. On you to defeat it. I mean, that's bullshit, but fucking Nationals aren't whining. So I don't know, man. That's the definitive cheating take. If you care too much about cheating, maybe, like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's super huge deal. Definitely police dudes doing like camera bullshit, but that ain't the first dudes using outside the field intel, is what I'm saying. Won't be the first, won't be the last.
Speaking of Yankees cheating, we should get into this next little thing that I want to
talk about. Yeah, let's transition you. Let me give you some bumper.
Okay.
Talk about some shit.
It's
People want to talk about the Rays. I want to talk shit about the Rays.
It's not a super long thing, but I have I don't say I have beef, but I got a problem with this dude, right? So homeboy's name is Evan Roberts, right?
Evan Roberts.
VAN, Yvonne, whatever. Evan Roberts.
WFAN, right?
WFAN, WFAN, as I'm calling it.
They can't even sniff our viewership.
In
it's
New
ridiculous.
York, in New York sports radio, this guy Evan Roberts, he was saying the Rays are cheating.
Yep.
Right. He clearly doesn't watch the Rays and know that we have studs on the team. That Franco has been a good young guy for a couple of years now, right? He didn't come out of nowhere. But he's like, there's something suspicious about that, by the way. Very suspicious. Yeah, they're probably cheating. Basically saying all these guys, these unknown, not that great players, are having great years. I'm like, dude, these aren't unknown players, man.
Yeah.
They're not some fucking low-level bullshit players. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, Arozarena is a stud. Franco's a stud. Yandy Diaz is a stud. Like, these are players that just did not come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
They've been playing well for a couple years now, you know?
I'm with you on that. Also, like, because they play in a dome, I always heard, I mean, the cheating rumors in Major League Baseball are insane.
And he was like, I know who they are. They're not good, but yet they're 19-3 at home. Dude, I'm so sorry that a small market team is balling out.
They've put together some good teams over the years.
But we've for a while now, we've had a consistently good team. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like, not that long ago, we went to the World Series, like 2 years ago. Yeah, like 2020, yeah.
There was, because they play in the Trop, so that's like a dome. I don't know what levels of different cheats could happen in a dome, like their home record or whatever, but I always heard rumors about the Twins when they won all those World Series with Kirby Puckett. They're like the dynasty. The Metrodome.
Metrodome. What's the Humphrey Dome? What am I thinking of?
I think it was named after like a politician up there too, but then like there was like rumors that they would like change the air suction and open doors when they were hitting and then move it or whatever. Like, I don't fucking know. And then like also, speaking of like outside the field intel, Bobby Thompson shot heard around the world off Rob Bronco was pretty well. Like, they had a dude in the center field like clubhouse with binos. It was the rumor on the Polo Grounds home run. So I don't know, but yeah, I don't think there's anything you can say it. A dude's going to talk shit about the Rays because he doesn't like the fact that they're fucking good.
It's the fact that like we're a small market team and we're balling out right now.
And it goes to my point. It was like, you know what?
We knew these young dudes. We've seen them grow the last couple of years. We knew they were going to turn into somebody good.
And don't bitch about cheating. Fucking defeat it. Defend it. Figure out what the fuck they're doing. And either alert somebody or fucking switch up. Whatever the fuck you think they're doing, figure it out and fucking beat them.
He didn't say specifically what it was.
I don't know.
He goes, I just have a hinkering that they're cheating.
Nobody's fucking cheating.
I'm sorry
Scherzer's not cheating.
that your shithole team is having an off year. Granted, they are over 500, so they're not a losing team. But he's just mad that the other teams, like Baltimore, are balling out. The Rays. You know, like, we can't have the fucking Yankees dominate and Boston dominate every year. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking somebody else have a chance.
Everybody's
Fuck
cheating
you, Evan Roberts.
and nobody's cheating.
Like,
you know?
If I saw Evan Roberts right now, I would fucking punch him in the face. Like, I do not like this guy. He sounds like some fucking shitty-ass college bro who's pissed that his parents wouldn't give him a $50,000 loan. And
fucking Gaylord Perry is in the Hall of Fame, and he wrote a book called Me and the Spitter while fucking denying his entire career that he threw a spitball. And his bio's Me and the Spitter. Dudes don't care, man. The shit's going on. Fucking win the ball game. And I'm not saying it's cool to do it again. Don't get the binos out, do the outside, but fucking defeat it.
The Rays have an awesome pitching staff.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of the reason too why we're so good.
Yeah, the Rays are good. Let's look at their shit.
But the Rays always have a solid pitching staff. Like, dude, like 2008, dude, like that pitching staff that we had. We went to the World Series. Was
Wander's
fucking solid.
Second in the league in WAR.
And look at that, dude. Yandy Diaz.
Yandy's down here, 13th. Look at Jonah Heim. Booyah, Rangers.
Like, Sugar Shane is a badass.
Rosarena's 27th. Like, they got good offense.
So, like, are you saying no Rosarena, who went off in the World Baseball Classic, was cheating too during that?
The cheating talk gets way too heated. I don't think the Rays are cheating, and even if they are, like most of my shit,
we know better.
Don't care.
We know better.
Don't care. Don't care if you are. You're fucking winning ball games. And again,
you know what? See, that's what happens, dude. When you drink your orange juice, when you get the Tropicana orange juice, you play well. You know.
There you go.
like
That's what it is.
You play well.
Drink Tropicana orange. They're gonna fucking move that team, aren't they?
I don't know. Why do you think we've been sponsored by Tropicana forever since the beginning of time? Since we started in 1998, is because Tropicana orange juice fuels winners, and the Rays are winners. Now, granted, we always haven't been winners. But
do you think this is
a couple years to kick in.
Good segue into our? Do we want to do like because one of the crazy seasons for Fernando Rodney was a Tampa Bay Rays year.
Like I remember 2012 or something like that. Like
Fernando
was cool.
Rodney is fucking amazing.
And he would always do that thing too. Like he would do like the little thing when he would win that little pose
was the
thing.
best. Let's look at Fernando. And
he's definitely a Hall of Famer, straight up.
Images, and we can repeat the story that everybody said. It was said it a million times. Is
say it again.
Me and so many people just pooped on him for the hat, and then when you found out that it was a tribute to his
that was
his
me.
Father
I didn't like the way he wore his hat.
When you figure out it was a tribute to his father, you just felt like the biggest a-hole that I felt like. But there he is, man, legend. That dude. And then he did that. He did all this stuff. So he had sideways. He's doing these things, and people want to hate on him. And then you kind of like take a look back.
That's the thing I'm talking about. That little. Yeah, I do that shit all the time.
We probably all hated it. I bet we all griped about it. There he's doing it with the M's. But
no, I like the pose. The pose is awesome.
Yeah,
I do that shit still to this day at my house. I'll just be like, I'll go to my wife and I'll do it, and she's like, "What the fuck?"
But the level of longevity and the numbers, and this is maybe so. Like, I'll do this, and maybe this will lead into my sabermetric WAR statistics and what. I mean, he's 18th all time on because I was like, I don't know if WAR really reflects this guy's value to a team. I mean, it's supposed to be objective baseball knowledge, but having a closer in high pressure situations, not every dude is cut out for that. Doesn't have the stuff for that. But check this, this Fernando Rodney stats out, and I don't know if people can even see this. I gotta like,
but like,
I used to be able to do this and do properties, but I can't do that anymore.
I definitely am in that state of mind still, where I'm like an old person, where I'm like, what happened to the eye test? Like. The eye test will tell you this guy had some dominant moments.
And that's kind of why I did the Sabermetrics stuff, because like I shit on it a little bit. I was like, if I'm going to dump on something, I kind of want to know.
But he has over 300 saves, and that alone is pretty
impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, insane relieving numbers. But check out, so here's what ERA plus is. It's kind of ERA turned into.
Granted, he's not like Rivera, who had over 600, but still,
we all know what earned run average is, but ERA plus kind of trying to find like a median, like a league average or median or replacement value. Average and replacement value aren't exactly the same thing, but for purposes like 100 being baseline, if you're like below 100 in ERA plus, and the plus just means it's adjusted for park factors and like league factors, it's just adjusted for certain shit. That's all the plus means. But like below 100, it's not that good of a year. Above 100, you're like above average now. But you don't really see him. Like you'll see like a 200-something ERA plus. But he had, and this is kind of insane to me, because it's not a small amount of innings pitched. It's basically the entire fucking 2012 season as a reliever with 48 saves. His ERA plus is 6.41. And I would like, go ahead.
Let's not forget, when he went to Seattle a couple years later, he had another dominant save season.
Well, so like, yeah, and then he had 48 saves another year. But so I was like, to me, 6.41 is the highest ERA plus I've ever fucking seen, with the exception of his 1,279, though it was only 28 innings pitched. But that's not insignificant as a reliever. 28 fucking innings pitched. And you gave up one earned run. 28.2, you gave up one earned run.
That's fucking
You're fucking automatic, dude. You're an automatic shutdown. That's insane. But then, like, his WAR numbers aren't really like, yeah, the one season was a 2.4, but like, man, like the rest of it's like, I don't know. I don't know if that really reflects reliever value, but
like when he was good, he was fucking good,
dude. And the fact that it's so you can look at this, but then if you go to Mexican League Independent, another thing about Fernando Rodney's career was really fun is so he's Dominican and he did Dominican Winter Leagues, but it was like he would always show. I think he just would like show up for one game, like he would pitch like 2 innings, like here. He's Dominican Wing. He pitched 3 innings that year. And then he goes back there. He pitched 8 innings, was the most that he ever pitched. But he did like 3 or 4 seasons. And then he did like Caribbean Series. But he never pitched that month in the Dominican. And then he did one with the Skeeters, Sugarland, at the age of 43. Gave them an inning.
Dude can go forever.
Now he's in the Mexican leagues. He's with the Diablo Rojos.
Dude could pitch till he's 70 easily.
And he's fucking 2-1. So
He could be a 7-year-old pitcher. Like
I don't know, man.
Fernando Rodney.
I love that he got a ring at the end of his career.
Yeah, that was cool.
And am I falling? Hopefully, I'm following this dude. Oh my God, what a legend! But that's kind of for I'm saying he'd be in the Hall of Fame for so many reasons that don't have to do with how they vote for the Hall of Fame, but what we say goes, Earl. I think.
Like I understand he's 18th all time in saves.
Yeah.
But like sometimes rankings and stuff don't tell the whole story of a player, right?
Yeah, and maybe that's like the sabermetric argument.
Because as there's also that other argument is people who get a lot of stats, but they're compliers, whatever that word is.
Yeah,
I can't fucking
compilers.
Yeah, English isn't my first language, so I struggle. But anyway, you know what I mean though? Like he wasn't one of those guys. Like he put up numbers.
Yeah,
like consistently.
He was.
It wasn't like he had one great season and then he just bounced around and put up numbers like compiled stats. He put up great seasons for a good while.
Was always he was 57 one year, but he was always 56. But and I guarantee you, if you're a baseball fan, he either stuck it up your team's tailpipe or blew a save for your team at some point or another. But yeah, Fernando Rodney, I think, is a baseball legend. And should be respected, folks. And that's that one. That's that little Fernando Rodney segment. I don't know what else to say about the guy other than I think he's awesome. And his velocity was up. You go to like Brooks Baseball. I wonder what his velo was in those last few years.
Don't make me do something that I'll regret if you know what I'm saying.
You'll be happy to know he does have the Tampa Bay hat featured in Baseball Reference.
Of course, 2012 was his best year with the Rays when he was with the Rays.
6.41 ERA.
Trey Roberts said though that 2012 Rodney is the 5th highest ERA plus with a minimum of 40 innings pitched.
That's insane.
So
that's an insane.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Trey, who is the highest ERA plus? Is my question for Trey. That's kind of fucking crazy.
Trey Roberts, man, it sounds like a chicken restaurant I want to go to. Trey Roberts Chicken, but
Dread Pirate Roberts, man, legend giving us stuff. But yeah, so the Sabermetrics analytics.
Shout out to their podcast as well.
Let's
give Hall of Fame podcast that he does.
Let's find that. Can I Google that? Let's find them. We gotta go back to all.
Just go to YouTube and type in Trey Roberts, and you should find it.
TRAE.
Yeah, Roberts.
Roberts.
Speaking
podcast.
of Roberts, you know Lewis
What's
Roberts.
it called again? The Hall
of Fame podcast from. But
podcast.
So speaking of Roberts, you know the guy.
Is that it? Apple?
No, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Oh, what was I doing? What the fuck am I doing? There's ATG boys. 159 is out for ATG fans.
I see that Bonnie's rocking that sick Fest hoodie.
Yeah,
dude, Fest. I was looking at some of the bands.
Bonnie's hoodie game can't even be challenged.
Some of the Fest bands this year are going to be fucking sick. Like, dude, Tightwire's playing, and if you're listening, Tightwire is so fucking good. Like, I would go see Tightwire. What is that album? That only album they have?
There it is.
6 Foot Deep.
Look at these legends.
That's a good podcast.
Why are we not?
Hall of ATG podcast. They basically break down the ballots and they talk about each player and stuff like that, which is cool.
Look at Trey's numbers skyrocketing.
He's going to have like 1 million subscribers.
9 viewers.
Because he's at what, 65 right now?
I just subscribed.
Yeah, he's at 65, but he's on pace for 1 million by the end of the year.
We all are.
Like, analytics don't lie. Like, if you look at the stats, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's got some good shit out here.
You know what's really fucking cool too is if you look at the art of those, like on the two heads. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Dude, but cool shit. He's a musician too.
I saw one of his videos of what band it was, but I had never heard of the band. But look at that, dude. Armor for Sleep, Hawthorne Heights. Dude, back in the day, those were awesome Victory record bands. They were fucking sick.
It's good shit right
like,
there.
I used to love Hawthorne Heights. Unfortunately, after Casey passed away, their guitar player, who was also their screamer, their music kind of went downhill. For me personally, but like those first two records were really fucking good.
Yeah.
Ohio is for Lovers was one of their big hits.
Baseball Underground, forming like Voltron. I like it. I'm just gonna drop in
Trey Roberts, Chicken and Crowder. Yeah, I'm gonna come to
Chicken and Chowder.
So that
sounds fucking awesome.
So remember, I think it was like a couple weeks ago we were talking about Crowder, that dude Crowder. So I said Crowder sounds like a soup, and so earlier I was saying that Trey Roberts sounds like a chicken diner. So Bonnie just commented with the Trey Roberts, Chicken and Crowder. Yeah, dude, I've been there. It's fucking good. And
Chicken and Chowder. Are you saying Chowder?
Crowder.
Crowder. It's
yeah.
Crowder.
We were talking about a couple weeks ago. We were talking about some guy. I forgot who it was with the last name.
David Wells curveball coming
with the
Paul.
last name Crowder.
Yeah.
And so then I was like, yeah, Crowder sounds like a soup, right?
Chowder.
So
Crowder,
he's
Chowder.
like Trey Roberts Chicken and Crowder. By the way, on Tuesdays on Trey Roberts Chicken and Crowder, you get half off on Chicken and Crowder combo.
Chicken and Crowder.
So
combo.
if you're in your local area and you have one, please go check it out.
Honestly, if your Crowder was just actually chowder and you're like, we just wanted to save ink on the printing of
oh no, dude,
menus.
Crowder's something totally different.
It's totally different.
Right. Way different. You got to try it. We'll have to go to northern Illinois and get some.
Cam 23. This guy's doing stuff. So check this out. Like, here's what I'm saying on. There's usually like a little intro he'll do. A little. Where is it? No, I don't know, dude. He does some funny shit. I gotta watch this Palmer one. But here's my idea. Let me fade out of the bump music. Here's my idea for MiLB Hatbilly. Besides the fact that like Bonnie Jake should be MLB commissioners, my idea for MiLB Hatbilly.
Oh yeah, congratulations on graduating as well.
Oh, my little Saber.
No.
Oh, to Jake for graduating.
Yeah. Shout out to you and your graduation.
MiLB Hatbilly,
cool.
Jake Whalen, the legend out in West Virginia. Baltimore Orioles are killing it this year. That's in no small
Trey Tendies.
Trey Tendies. In no small amounts of effort.
Fuck,
like, it's
sorry.
really, I give credit to Jake Whalen, MiLB Hatbilly, for the Orioles' success. But Jake, if you're listening to this, you see this, you know what you need to do, dude? You need to write a book.
A book?
Yeah, because, like, I get all these baseball books. You know, I always read, like, the Wax Pack. All these, like, knowledgeable baseball people will jack out, like, a really fun baseball book. And his process requires tons of writing and research. And I'm like, dude, the MiLB, like, Jake Whalen is basically a New York Times best-selling baseball author in waiting.
I mean,
He's probably got the pages now.
Everybody puts a book out nowadays.
Chapters. Yeah,
might as well.
Honestly, and he's, dude, I don't know, man. That was I was just thinking about, like, his process and all the shit he does and all the hard work he does to put together stuff like this. Amazing. But yeah, I think there's a book in everybody, they say, but I think Jake Whalen and MiLB Hatbilly are closer than just about anybody. That dude should definitely be. That's my idea for you, Jake. Make more work for you while you're out, like, shotgunning nets at deers and stuff.
Like I said, I love baseball, but there's just some stuff that I don't want to sit down and research the history of because I don't have the patience.
It's amazing.
I lose track. You know what I'm saying?
Amazing what he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. But also, the other idea I had, because he does so much good videos, like, what are the, like, 5 most brutal cup nut shots in Major League Baseball? And the only reason I bring that up is because I was rabbit holing, and I don't know why I got off on Pepper Martin, because I remember these accounts I've read in books, like the white shoes and the Billy Martin with the binoculars and these anecdotes. And I remember it was either Frankie Frisch or Pepper Martin, but DeRocher was like, dude played third base, didn't even wear a freaking cup, didn't even wear undies.
That's a dangerous game, man.
That is a dangerous game. And then I was like, I found the account in DeRocher's book, Nice Guys Finish Last. And not only did he wear no undies or cup, he was just full-on commando. He didn't even wear fucking socks. He wore stirrups that went under, like, you know how the stirrups go under your foot? Just under his bare foot arch. And then put his shoes.
Oh, shit.
Put his bare feet in the shoes.
I got this idea. You're talking about nut shots, right?
Pepper Martin.
And you're talking about the book Nice Guys Finish Last?
Yeah.
Somebody needs to make a montage of nut shots with the song Nice Guys Finish Last by Green Day.
Nice Guys Finish, yeah.
That would be a great montage video of nut shots.
Pepper Martin, total commando. I want to see, like, top 10 nut shots, or find me, like, I'm going to use my Saber, like, people are like, are you going to do anything useful with your knowledge of Saber-metrics, math, and SQL database programming? I was like, I'm just going to, like, write articles about the top 3 players that played commando baseball careers. Like, well, that's not going to help anybody. Dude, I was like, well,
I just worked with a guy that would work commando.
Just go commando, man.
And, like, that's gross.
No drawers. You go no drawers either by choice or because you shit your pants and you had to throw
right. I had to take off my drawers.
You had to throw your undies in the woods, throw them onto the neighbor's roof, whatever you're doing.
There was one time last year on St. Patrick's Day where I, like,
chart.
Well, here's the thing. So I did karaoke and I was singing Blink-182.
And that's the shit happened. Is it your favorite song?
And next thing I know, dude, I remember most of the night. But I drank so much that I blacked out, and I remember I had vomited, and at the same time, and I was shitting my pants at the same time, and I woke up at like 4 a.m. And I was like, why is my ass wet? I thought like maybe
Sharded.
I was like, maybe I pissed my pants, right? But then I realized, God damn it! So I shit my pants and I vomited everywhere.
I can't judge that because there's a very well.
But it was St. Patrick's Day, and I was singing Blink-182, and I just kept doing shots of Jaeger, and
George Brett shit his pants.
Yeah, I regret drinking that much, but I shouldn't have drank that much. I regret doing it, but like.
My understanding was
a funny story, not funny, but
any shitting your pants story. Actually, I'll stare at the greatest shit pants story ever.
You know what happened?
Everybody can retell this. It's baseball related.
You know what happened that night? So check this out. I shouldn't have done that. It was a mistake, and I haven't drank like that since then because I realized how stupid it was. But so I did that. I probably went to bed at like fucking. I stayed all night. I probably slept 2 hours. Woke up the next morning with the couple hours later. Came and did a podcast.
There you go.
With you.
There you go.
I was like,
gotta do that.
I was running on 2 hours of sleep.
You just go. You just. That's what they call being a Marine, man. You just fucking sack up.
Also,
show up, get it done.
After you drink, that's like the best sleep you'll ever have because you like fall asleep right away. You know.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I'm an alcoholic, so you know.
I used to be.
I know too well.
I don't. I still drink, but nowhere on the level of getting drunk or anything anymore.
Yeah.
Because I was just getting way too out of control.
Right. I'm not going to share my shit pants story. It happened in Iraq, and with the entire unit was fucking sick as a fucking dog.
I don't care, dude. I'll say whatever.
But here's the shit pants story I want to tell because I heard it. Some of the best stories you'll ever hear in your life as a ball player are before the game when the team is in the outfield and we're all laying around stretching. Like you're laying on the ground, you're doing your hammies.
Like pregame warm-ups and stuff?
Yeah, you're just kind of like the whole – this is like about a 10-minute period where dudes are just out there laying around talking about who they banged the night before, what happened, just funny story. Just like it's fucking – it's like Night at the Apollo. It's fucking Def Comedy Jams. Some of the funniest shit I've ever heard have happened in stretching circles, which is why I was always – man, it wouldn't be fun to play with the Sklar Brothers Little League. But anyway, South Alabama, Dave Lofton, utility outfielder, I think he was with the rest of us, so we were all kind of like platooning out there. From New Jersey, I don't really know how he ended up at South Alabama, and people were sharing shit stories. And our first baseman, I.B. Stacy, had a really great shit story. I'm not going to do that one because this one's better. This is Dave Lofton. And the way I remember this also could have happened in Dallas because I know they have one of those like historical trains there that like kind of like it's like a date. You go on the train and get dinner or whatever. But I think he said it was in Atlanta. So maybe there's like a historical train, but maybe it's Dallas. I don't know. So here's the thing. This dude is fucking crazy in love with his chick. He's like, he's got a huge crush on her. Finally gets her on the date, okay? And the date is you're going to go on this train, you like eat dinner, and then it stops at like a little shopping area that's nice. You get out and fuck around, and then you come back, get on the train, and like have dessert and go home, and that's it. It's like this little train ride deal. So he gets on. And he's got to fart real bad. He's like waiting, you know. He's just like waiting to like just cut one. And he gets a chance to cut one. And sure enough, he's like, pretty sure I shit my pants on that one. That's not dry.
I'm sure
that's not dry.
We've all been there where like you farted, but more came out than what you thought.
So now this dude is in the conundrum where he's sitting there at this dinner date on a train, and he's got shit in his pants. So of course he excuses himself to the bathroom, but like checks the situation, did shit his pants. So all you could do at that point is like he takes off his like boxers or undies or whatever they were, and like throws them out of the train window into the woods, and then tries to like damp cloth and clean up whatever's on the inside of the pants. And just make do until he can get to the stopping point where he knows they're shopping, and he's like, I'll get maybe a new pair of pants, right? So
draws.
So he does. So that's what they do. The train goes, they get to the fucking like shopping area, and they're like looking around. He's like, you know what? There's a store here that has this really cool pair of pants. I was kind of trying to, I just want to get these, So she's like, this is fucking weird. Whatever, this guy wants to buy pants. So they like go to the shop.
I love me some pants.
Picks out some pants, buys them. And he's got to come up with stupid stories on why he wants pants so bad. But then they're like going back to the train. They like sit down. And he goes, you know what? Like train's starting back. The dessert's starting to get served. He's like, I like these pants so much. I just want to put them on right now. you know, I really wanted these. I love them so much. I'll put these pants on right now. And she's like, well, right, you fucking weirdo.
You got to figure this guy has to smell,
so,
right?
Yeah, so he goes into the bathroom.
What does that shit smell?
He goes into the bathroom, fucking takes off his shitty pants, fucking drops the window.
Literally shitty pants.
Yeah, throws his shitty pants into the woods, and then he opens up the bag, and it's a fucking sweater.
Oh, shit.
They put the wrong...
He's fucked.
They put the wrong shit into his bag, and he walked out with the wrong shit. So now...
He's like, so is this a pantless date or what?
Yeah, so he's like fucking on the train, and I can't imagine how hardcore, like, your mind is racing. At this point, you're like,
Dude,
what?
I would be sweating so bad.
Like, I don't have underwear.
I would be shitty because I'm so nervous.
Don't have pants. The only explanation is that I shit myself and throw everything out the window. Like, you're going to find another customer or find another person on the...
So is he on the train with no pants?
With no pants.
So he's literally like just a shirt.
Yeah, he's got a
underwear,
shirt, no underwear, no pants.
He's
and
like
a fucking sweater. So we're
hey
like,
guys,
we're in the outfield just laughing our ass off. Like, I can't fucking believe this.
Oh my god.
I can't fucking believe. Like, your mind's just like, you're gonna come out and like ask somebody for their pants. Nobody has fucking extra pants on a train.
Hey dude, can I borrow some of your
fucked.
pants?
You're 100% screwed here. So we're like, what did he do? What did he do? And he goes, what he did was he put his legs through the arms of the sweater and held it around his waist, and then just like stayed in the bathroom the entire train ride back to the stopping point. And then when he could tell the train stopped, he just got out and like ran to his car and left her there. I was like, I think maybe that's...
I mean, there's nothing you can't... Like,
I'm not saying that's your only two options are walk back and tell her with a sweater around your waist that you shit yourself. Not a good option, or just bail. I mean, I can't think of what else you do there, but that's what he did.
I was getting out. I was going to the bathroom. My pants ripped on one of the railings, and that's why I'm pantless.
I don't know.
Plus, I would make some stupid shit like, yo, I'm hot for you. I'm ready to go. I
don't know if that story ever got back to the girl if she believes it, like why he stood her up or what happened, but that is one. And I had a buddy, like there's so many good shit stories out there, and I'm probably... You can't steal this idea. This is a proprietary idea. But a dude was going to write a book containing shit stories. The title is too good. I'm not going to say the title. It was such a good play on words. But that would be a great book. That's a good coffee table book or bathroom book. Just like horrible shit stories.
I used to have a book that I would read when I was taking shit. Sometimes it was like terrible superheroes.
Yeah.
So
that's that shit story. That's the side. That's the side you get with 3BGB, the side stuff. We got to get you out of here. What time is it?
12:30.
We've been rolling. All right.
But yeah, there's nothing you can do in a situation to make it seem not weird or awkward.
That's a pretty good story, though, right? That had to have happened. Nobody makes that up. That had to have happened.
I mean, if he did make it up, it's one hell of a great story to make up.
That's a great story.
You know what? That would be a great fucking short film to shoot. It'd be so funny to see.
That would be that'd be like a based on real events.
Be like, look,
based
man,
on real events story.
Where I come from, we don't wear pants. So either you accept me for who I am now, or this date's over.
You just like walk out like, you're never going to believe what happened.
So
that's good stuff.
And that's how that day is how you got the name Big Dick. I'm just saying.
I'll give. You want me to give like 2 minutes on this whole Saber thing? Did you see the bit with Blake Schnell being like, "Dude, what's WRC plus?" And the announcer was like, "I don't know." And then like some dudes on social media were like, "Dude, you're a terrible announcer if you don't know what WRC plus is." And I don't even
know what it is.
We're all about hot takes here. Here's the deal with that. Doing the Saber analytics, and I'm doing level 2 now, which is getting even more into the weeds. Shit can get complicated. It straight up is. And there's no secret from like Moneyball on why SABERmetrics were created, because batting average is like an imperfect statistic. Great, you hit 340, but they were all singles and you never walk. So people could see there were inefficiencies in the statistics, and it like grew out of trying to find a better way to measure player value. And so Bill James comes on the scene, and not just Bill James, he gets mentioned the most because of Moneyball, but like Tom Tango and all these other guys are like pioneers in trying to value players. But the next kind of step forward is like, well, on base percentage makes a lot of sense, right? Because you walk or hit, we don't care. You're not creating an out, therefore a greater chance to score runs. everybody gets OBP and then slugging, right? So like OBP slugging, you're like, well, it kind of makes a difference if you're on second and if you're on third, the chances in which you're going to score a run. So a guy that hit more doubles, more valuable than a guy that's hit singles. We all understand slugging. It just kind of like extrapolates out greater value for double, single, double, triple, homer, right? So then they came up with like, well, let's smack that together and you get OPS, on base plus slugging. Very good statistic, and you're kind of growing towards how they're like getting WAR and WRCS and deserved runs created and all this other crazy shit. But I think as an announcer, that's where you need to fucking stop, dude. Like, we understand OPS. On base, I understand. Everybody kind of knows what that is. Everybody kind of understands conceptually slugging. To start trying to bring, like, the casual viewer along into the math that creates WAR. I mean, high WAR is good. You got 6 WAR, you're fucking awesome. But, like, people are like, well, what is it? Like, how do you get there? Like, I understand how you get slugging. I understand how you get on base. But you want to start about, like, WRC plus, like, weighted runs created with park factors. Like, W in front means it's weighted. Plus means it's park factors. If there's an X, it's an expected what you're going to do this year. And it gets really fucking boring, frankly, but it has tons of value for like a GM. So like if you're a baseball super nerd and it's like, that's cool though. Like you're like getting into it. Like how much value are guys? Like if you really want to get into it, you can get into it. I don't think you really need to get into it because basically, and there's a WOBA, which is kind of like your OPS plus, but like past that, like understanding slugging and on base and creating runs, I don't know how much you really need to get in the weeds for the average guy to enjoy that. You can tell this guy's a good hitter. Eye test, like he hits homers, he hits doubles. The guy's got value. I can see his OPS plus. Like that's
like me though.
You know, that's I mean that's how I am. That's why
I love baseball. I love the history of baseball, and I love like learning all these players and stuff and who was good, who was bad. But like, there's a lot of stats that I just don't give a shit about. Like I don't care what his fucking wins above replacement was or what his slugging percentage. I just don't, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm not I love baseball a lot, but I'm not a baseball nerd in terms of statistics and stuff.
Yeah.
Like I would never want to join Saber. It's just something I don't.
Saber's more interested like in history and research, and I mean they do that too. Because like there's a difference between SABR, which is the Society for American Baseball Research, and then like SABER-metrics, which is the kind of the math portion of it. But they support the Saber. Saber supports the Saber.
Like pretty soon they're gonna have stats with his stats with white cleats, his stats with blue cleats. Like there's gonna be.
Well, no, they do. They got splits. There's
insane.
all kinds of data out there, but it becomes too much to like maybe just enjoy the game and understand who's good. So I think there's like a crossover level where you just like leave it to the people of like if you're interested in like field independent pitching and all that other stuff. But the problem is for calling a game, you just like it doesn't any value to try to explain. Like people like WAR, talk about WAR a lot. I was like, I think they should stop talking about WAR. If dudes want to get into that, like Mike Trout's WAR. Like I know it's a high WAR, but like you could never because people are like, how do you get to WAR? Well, dude, that's a lot of fucking numbers to get to actual explaining WAR. So I don't know. I think some of the basic stuff that's been just advanced a little bit, like weighted on base and OPS, those are really very close to understanding the direction the really advanced stuff has got. But if you can't explain the equation being like multiplication and division pretty simply, probably just leave it alone.
It's probably like it's like the calculus of baseball. There's just all these, like I said, I love baseball, I love the sport, I love the history, but there's just I just don't care about all those other stats. It doesn't interest me.
Exactly. And you don't, and I think that's good because that's like everybody likes something. I like the personal interest stories.
It's cool to like for argument purposes if you're like in a serious discussion. Well, let me explain why this guy should be considered great. Then it's cool to know those stats. Yeah. But like for people like me who just enjoy the game, I'm not interested in all the other crazy stats.
Yeah, and I'm not even. And the other thing, I'm not saying it's bad because I think it's the same thing. Maybe like there's just different levels. It has huge applications for front offices. This is what's being used in the arms race to acquire the best dudes. These valuations, and they have their own like in-house proprietary wars, and we value this more in your base running. And I was really interested to find like stolen bases, like everyone's like Billy Hamilton, like you have to be like higher than a 76% success rate base stealer to provide any value to your team. Well, mathematically speaking.
So those are fine. Those are fine.
But I thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
I was like, swipe a lot of bags, but all those caught stealings are shooting yourself in the crank.
Because that stat's fine because you want a base stealer with a high percentage. Because that's a good number to have. You know what I'm saying?
You got to be successful. A lot of guys aren't that successful. It's like you're killing your team.
Well, this guy's fast, but how good is he at stealing bases?
Yeah,
and that's a cool stat to have. Or save percentage with closers is one that I like. You know, how good is he at closing? Like if he has a 10% save percentage, he's gonna blow it every time.
Yeah, so I guess I think SABERmetrics is cool and it's awesome. I would say nobody needs to really know it to be an enjoyable, enjoy baseball.
Like me.
Yeah, just past OPS plus. If you understand how that's there, then you're probably getting a pretty good idea of a hitter's value. Pitching is a little bit ERA's kind of imperfect, and there's some other numbers like fielding, independent pitching, and WHIP and stuff like that. Yeah, those you're good. You could tell a guy's pretty good.
Wins and losses are kind of, You know
the wins and losses for a pitcher, dudes are 16-game winners or Cy Youngs because, dude, they're just unhittable and they got no run support. So,
say for example, sometimes wins and losses shouldn't matter. Sometimes. Yeah. Because what if you were a pitcher, you went out there and pitched seven great innings, but then a guy came in and fucked it up, and somehow you got the loss. Or say for example, you were a great pitcher, but you had no offense.
Yeah.
You know, you lost a lot of games, but you pitched good games, but you just you could lose games 1-2-0. Remember
Bob Gibson,
Felix Hernandez for the Mariners. He was a great pitcher, but he had no offense, and he should have been.
It's one of those things. But
those teams
that's
could have
kind
been
of
fucking great if they would have had an offense.
Advanced analytics is definitely fun. I'm educating myself so I can talk about it with knowing. But I got to the point where I realized I was like, meh. For this river monsters. Not that we even have the data to calculate any of these advanced analytics for the river monsters, but. Don't really need it. You don't really need to know some of the past a certain point.
Just start making up stats. Billy Jones has an on-off percentage of 2.5 with a stolen hit rate of 29.
For the analytics course, you would definitely know what WRC plus is, but Blake Snell's a major leaguer, he doesn't know what that is, and he doesn't need to know what that is.
The
announcers don't need to know what that is.
Blake Snell, a former great Ray.
Yeah.
With the Padres now, but
Blake Snell's awesome.
Yeah, I like Blake Snell.
Blake Snell's greatness. There's doing some really cool. Have you seen all that behind the in the clubhouse stuff with the pods where they're doing pinata parties and?
No, I haven't seen those.
They're doing some really cool outside the game stuff with some of these teams. I know the Twins are doing one that's cool too.
When Joe Madden was with the Rays, they always had cool events going on, especially on road games. They'd always dress up in cool outfits and stuff together.
Yeah,
and do cool stuff like that. Keep the team hyped up,
That's good. Well, that's a SABERmetric talk. You don't really need to know too much there. It's a lot of fun if you want to do it. It is the baseball arms race. Let's transition into some college stuff. What do you think about that? There's 2 college things going on right now this weekend. One is the Lone Star Conference, which is D2, but pretty good baseball. And then you got UTSA in DBU. Big implications there.
Texas State is trying to hold on to a playoff push.
Well, they'll get to the conference tournament. They can win.
I saw an article. I didn't really read much into it. I forgot. I clicked on it and I didn't read it, but I just got distracted. But it was hold on to the whole playoff thing right now with the Texas State because there's a chance that we may not just because, but whatever.
I like a lot of those dudes up there. That's a great team. Augie and Jose.
Plus,
killing it.
New Braunfels is a 6 city.
Let's take a look
San
at
Marcos.
We had their stats. There is a Bobcat.
San Marcos, yeah, that's what it is.
The stats with Augie and
because it's so easy to get
Augie
San Marcos
Ramirez and Jose Gonzalez are killing it again. Jose started so hot though; he was 500 forever. Chase Mora, dudes can hit, man. But yeah, so this is kind of a big. And I'm interested. DBU is a good club. I'm not going to say they're not. And if you look at Conference USA statistics, and not to get too nerdy, one basic statistic I think people should be able to grasp, and it sounds like a mouthful, but it's you got to have your runs for and runs against. That's why the Rays, if you look at the Rays and the Rangers, you can go all the way up to teams and standings. So let's take a look at the Rangers. The Rangers are actually playing below. So this number right here, the runs you score versus runs allowed, if you calculate that using this Pythagorean thing every year, it is so flipping close to what your actual record is going to be.
What's that called?
The Pythagorean win-loss.
It sounds like it sounds like it would be like a chord scale. Like you got the Mixolydian scale. Well, now you have the Pythagorean scale.
Yeah, the Pythagoras, whatever the Greek mathematician, I guess. I don't know if he's Greek or what he was, but he's Carthaginian. But
25 and 11, huh?
But yeah, your run differential, your runs scored against versus runs allowed is, if calculated, is so close to your actual record. It's insane. And like, look at the Rays. So when I'm talking about DBU in the UTSA matchup, look at your Pythagorean is 30-8, and you're 29-9. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It's close.
I think you're frozen.
Are we froze?
No, it's still on, but your face is like you're just frozen.
I'm not moving. What? I don't know. I gotta do this. That's what I gotta do. YouTube's not frozen.
Oh, you were frozen on here.
Yeah. YouTube froze?
No, you're. I don't know if it's like what happened, but you were talking, but you weren't moving.
I don't know. It seems like we're moving. I don't know.
Now you are. It was just I don't know what happened. It could have been anything.
But so yeah, this win-loss is so close based on your run differential, and the only reason I'm teasing that is because it's a talking point for the there we go. See, check it out. You guys should be 30-8 according to this run differential. Look at your runs allowed. It's insane for the Rays. You should be 30-8. You're really 29-9. It's like
so
it's very close. Like over the course of like
yeah.
a season, if you look at all the previous seasons, the runs you allow versus the runs you're putting up, if you calculate them out, you can pretty much expect what that team's winning rate is. And when you look at UTSA DBU, like Conference USA baseball standings and the statistics, this is a big matchup because it's got all the team stats, and it'll show. Where's the statistics? Interactive stats. Let's see the interactive stats. Baseball overall. It's got the runs. I think it has like the runs for, but stolen base, fielding, pitching. I can't find it now. Darn it. Overall. But I thought I saw. Where did I see that? But the leaders, results. If you look at, maybe if I just go to the team, if I go to DBU, what year is this? That's 2022. That's part of my problem. DBU overall win streak, but they're it doesn't have. I guess you got to go to their thing, but it's a pretty big spread. They're maybe this will have it. I doubt it. Yeah, here you go. The runs, they'll have like the runs allowed, but you can see the leader in runs is DBU. Not by much.
The boo.
But then if you look at the earned run, like the runs allowed, the earned runs, they're the lowest. So like DBU's Pythagorean would be better. And UTSA is like right there. So it's the runs, and it's just really be earned runs. It's runs. There's like a 20 difference, so maybe there's like a defensive issue there. But got to take DBU seriously. There are a number of implications for postseason here. If you're trying to get to Omaha, and I would love to see the Roadrunners do that with Hallmark, this is where I think you bust out as much video as you can and scout these DBU pitchers because they got a strong pitching staff. And I'm saying, dude, I think UTSA's got the arms. Miller, Malone, they got some studs, and they got some studs in the lineup. And if you look at DBU's resume, the other kind of like question I have about DBU is they like RPI. They're way higher RPI, but it's because UTS hasn't played a whole lot of ranked dudes this year, but they're beating up on everybody. But then you get swept 4 losses in a row. You came across some some ranked teams, and then you're beating everybody up. And then you come TCU, that's a loss. You lost to Oklahoma, big school there, but there's some other rankings in there. I think it was the Oklahoma State game. They split with Oklahoma State, but they lost badly the first one. So the ranked team that DBU, and this is probably why their RPI is better. But UTSA schedule's not so much on like playing ranked teams, but they're clutching up in the conference. So I don't know. They did beat A&M. I thought A&M was ranked when we beat them, but maybe not. So anyway, Sam Houston took us to the woodshed on Tuesday. We bounced back with a sweep of Rice. So this is a huge because one of these teams is probably right on the edge of an at-large bid if the conference tournament is not won. So there's a lot of pressure to win the conference tournament and get the automatic bid. But it's happening this weekend, Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday. Get yourself out to the Bird Bath. But that's a huge series as far as conference and postseason, NCAA Division I postseason play is concerned in this area. So that's that teaser. Do you want to talk about Lone Star Conference and all the weird stuff that's going on over there?
Sure.
Angelo State, man, never won the D2 World Series, but they should because they're awesome, and they've only had one head coach ever.
Shit.
Only had one because they started a baseball program, and he was their first coach, and he turned out to be an awesome coach.
When did they start playing baseball?
I want to say 90s maybe.
Oh, shit. So he's been there a long time.
He's been there a while. Well, maybe, I don't know. Let's go back. Let's go Angelo State. Angelo State baseball. Only had one coach ever, and he's never had a losing season. We did a little bit of that on we did a little bit of that
They play a lot of games, dude. 44-8. Goddamn.
Yeah. Well, they started a little bit earlier, I think. But this guy right here, Kevin Brooks, never had a losing season, which is kind of crazy. But
he don't fuck around.
2005, they started the program. He went 30-25. So since 2005, this dude's been the head coach. And but they're in the postseason, and they're playing my alma mater, so I'm not really rooting for them.
That's a nice jersey right there, too.
But if I go to, well, I got to go LCU baseball.
At this point, I think he has that job until he doesn't want it anymore.
I don't want TCU, LCU.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's got it for life if he wants it. But I'm not, like, if you're just, like, dug in out there and you don't want to move your family. But this is Nathan. If he's still the head coach, what are we doing here? Baseball coaching staff.
Mike Burns.
Mike Burns. It used to be Nathan Blackwood. I guess he moved. I didn't realize that.
He's like, I'm out, man.
Nathan Blackwood was out there for a while, but they got some good baseball. So I'm rooting for the old Chaparrals. Wait, this ain't LCU. This is some other. This is Louisiana Christian. What are we doing? No wonder.
It's a good Too Many Dave song. Not Too Many
Daves. Where's Louisiana Christian? This ain't my school. Here
Chaparral is a great
Dan
Padilla song. So if you're listening, go listen to that song right now.
There we go. I was like, they had the same colors with my weird. I'll never find it. LCU baseball. Maybe
all these.
It's still Louisiana Christian. I can't find it. Let's just put Lubbock.
Lubbock. Is that the one you went to? Right? You played
Lubbock Christian University. Yeah. This is so they're going to play Angelo State. So this is but don't sleep on them. There's some good dudes having some cool seasons, good seasons in this D2. Especially there's a St. Edwards pitcher set like a record for like strikeouts in a season. I tweeted that homeboy out. But there's Nathan Blackwood. He's a good coach too. So anyway, what else we got? I don't know. You got to check out these small conferences. You always really give love to D1, man. There's some good ball players coming out of these small schools. So check in with the Lone Star Conference this weekend, see what happens with those guys. And DBU versus Roadrunners, big series. Get out to the Bird Bath. I'm rooting for some UTSA. I think they got the horses. I think they got the arms. That's that segment. I don't really know what's my last remainder other than Clyde Wright baseball from Japan. I'm trying to get you out of here on time. We have like time to blow. I don't know what else I forgot. We should probably check in with the ATG stuff. Oh, RPI. Do you want to shit on RPI?
Sure.
You can actually. Tell me what you think of this. Let's get the camera on you. What do you think about RPI? You can be a strongly ranked team. Right. And you scheduled Big Earns Barber College on a Tuesday game, and if you win that game, you win. You fucking kill them. 20-0 because they're a bunch of barbers and I'm teaching them how to cut hair and they're just not picking up ground balls, and you beat them 20-0, your RPI ranking goes down even if you win. So D1 schools are canceling Tuesday games if it affects their RPI.
Which is
so
unfortunate.
You put them on the schedule, and Biggerns Barber College gets to go out and play whatever ranked school, and they're like, nah, we're not going to play you guys. We're going to beat you, but it's not even worth it for us to beat you because we lose it.
That's not fair. Because
that's a broken system.
Yeah, the other team wanted to play, and now they can't because you're all high and mighty. Oh, I don't want to fuck up my RPI. Just play the fucking game and don't worry about shit. Like, people, that's what I'm saying. There's too many things.
Overthinking it.
There's too many factors that are...
If you're getting punished for winning a baseball game,
yeah,
you fucking overthought the system.
Yeah.
That's dumb as shit.
Just play the game and let things pan out the way they will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's unfortunate that teams are doing that now. Oh, I don't want to play because...
So they need to take a look at RPI and how they're doing these rankings, and there should be zero penalty for a win.
It's like, why... Like, that shouldn't even be an issue.
Keep these games on the schedule.
It shouldn't be an issue. It's like, why are we getting punished for a team that we're playing that's not as good as us?
Yeah.
You know?
So that's kind of...
Can you imagine if MLB did that? Oh, we don't want to play this team because they're not very good. That's going to affect our power rankings.
And RPI also gets into... let's look for some pictures of Vita, but...
Vita Blue.
But it's like the arcane math that you can get into with Sabermetrics is very much if you like look up how RPI is calculated, it will absolutely hurt your head. And if you're getting that hardcore into math and penalizing people for having a win, something's loose in that machine. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's just weird, man. Like,
but
that teams sometimes get punished based on the people who they play.
Yeah.
Like, what happens to just win and then, you know?
But we're getting close to conference tournaments and college postseason, so it's a fun time of year. But now we're going to pay respects to the great Vita Blue, and that's one of the iconic shots, man. That leg kick on that guy.
One of my favorite pitchers of all time.
One of the most iconic dudes. And his Saber bio is worth a read. He should have had it's maybe not the... There we go. Some good Vita Blue music. But Vita, man, just a heavy fastball, they say, a heavy fastball.
And let's not forget, he won 3 World Series in a row in the 70s with the A's.
And that's the other sad story about the A's. Cy Young winner once, but wasn't. I don't really think he had an arm injury. I guess he went until he was 33, but after the Oakland years, it was a good year there. But the Saber bio talks a little bit about it.
Which is like,
these guys didn't get paid anything. It's like how bad pay was when Billy Martin was in the minors for Oakland, the Pacific Coast League. He made like $9,000 a year, and then he got bought by the Yankees and was going up. So you're going from like basically AAA minors, and now you're going to the show. Took a pay cut. Yankees paid him $7,500 a season.
I wonder what that would amount to in nowadays time. What year was that?
And he was like, dude, why would I do that? Like, I was like, I guess it's the Yankees, but they're like, well, you got to think about the World Series share. And he's like, I guess that's true. There's a pretty good chance to win the World Series of the Yankees, and sure enough, they did. And he got the World Series share was like $6,000. So he did make more. But if he didn't get the World Series share, he's actually making less.
What year was that?
Billy Martin with the World Series?
Yeah.
That was like 50s, 60s.
Yeah.
I could look. Martin was very clutch in the postseason. Very clutch. And he made a couple great catches, but the ownership, I guess, didn't like him. But he was a scrapper.
So,
and you wouldn't know it, just like...
so the value of $7,000 in 1956 would be equivalent to about a little over $77,000 right now.
$77,000.
So not bad.
Not bad, but not...
I mean, I could live off $70,000 a year.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
He said, interesting about Billy Martin, once you start reading his bios, he chummed around with DiMaggio a lot. And he's like, I'm not sure why DiMaggio liked me, but they were both from the Bay Area. And Martin is an Italian. You wouldn't know it from his name, but he's an Italian guy.
Hey.
Just like Bernie Williams. People were like, what? Bernie Williams from Puerto Rico? He's like, yeah. It was like his last name was Figueroa. But Bernie Williams is awesome.
A little Figueroa snack.
Just like for the longest time, I didn't realize Dickie Thon was Puerto Rican.
I didn't either. Yeah, when I found that out, I was
I don't know what kind of
away.
last name is Thon. Puerto Rican legend, man. So
Dickie Thon's great.
Martin's the
As
Italian
you know,
temper.
Dickie Thon's one of my favorite players ever.
Dickie Thon's greatness. You gotta look at Dickie Thon's numbers again. Those were busting around here.
Like at my desk at home.
At the outro.
At my desk at home on my computer, on the above me on the shelf, I have 3
mustache.
baseball cards at all times up there. A Dickie Thon card, a Doug Jones card, and a Satchel Paige baseball card.
Yeah.
Because Satchel Paige is a fucking obviously legend. But
have you been doing much of the MLB show Negro League stuff? Because I started doing some more Josh Donaldson.
I did, and then I stopped, and I just started playing franchise mode basically because that's.
Yeah.
I do Road to the Show, the Negro Leagues thing and franchise, but I mainly focus on franchise.
Jesus Lord. Speaking of war.
But I play like
this is the ultimate value. Look at Thon in 1983 for Houston. That's MVP level.
He was he had an All-Star game, like he played in the All-Star game, but I think whenever he got hit in the head or something, that's kind of like
341.
That's what happened, right?
Homers.
He got hit in the head or something, like an injury.
Yeah, there was something in his bio about that.
Dickie motherfucking Thon.
28 doubles, 10 triples. Dude was just racking up triples.
Yeah.
That's an insanely high WAR. I don't bet most people didn't realize Dickie Thon got a 7+ WAR in 1983.
So all I need, I think, for my collection is to get a Texas one and Milwaukee. I think I have the other teams he played for.
Dickie Thon, man.
I just like Dickie Thon, man. He was a baseball dude.
Got a hell of a mustache.
Yeah.
Hell of a stash.
I feel like back in the 80s, though, like if you had a stash, you had to be good. You know what I'm saying? If you had a stash, you had to be good. Otherwise, people with the stashes that were good were like, hey, you got to shave it off, man.
Dale Berra, the book you brought in, Dale Berra had a great mustache for a long time. Even he calls it a porn stash in his autobiography.
You know what I want to rock?
He says I was known for the porn stash.
You know what I want to rock, but I won't, is a mullet and a stash like that. If I grew a mullet, because my hair's pretty long, it's just you can't tell because I always have a hat
Dale
on. But
Berra, man. His dad didn't teach him shit. He's all self-taught baseball playing. I mean, he hung around the game, got to go to the ballparks to see those dudes, but he decided, he's like, this is a pretty awesome life. I want to be a major leaguer.
Speaking of, I saw the little ad for the Royals, man. The Royals, I don't know what's going on with them, man. But
some pretty bad teams. You look at standings, poor Oakland. But, yeah, the other bottom of the barrel, I guess, is the Cardinals.
It's a damn shame, too, man. The
Royals,
Royals, 2015, they were balling, dude, and they just fell apart. And now look at them.
Yeah.
I feel bad for
a long
Bobby
season.
I feel bad for Bobby Witt Jr. He's playing on a shit
Look
team.
At the AL East, man. Everybody with a winning. I mean, the Yanks would be in first in the Central, 21-17.
I mean, of course, Oakland's the worst of the worst. You know, though, I like the Royals. I like the franchise. I like their franchise. It's just unfortunate that they're not winning right now. But
D-backs, Dodgers are going to F up my bet. I have them under 100 wins.
What are they at right now?
So for me to win.
Oh, they're at 23?
Yeah, they started getting hot.
You better hope they have like
Pirates are a fun
mid-season
story this year. I think the
rumble.
Rangers and the Pirates are the funnest stories this year, honestly.
I'm glad to see the Pirates winning again. That's really cool. Because O'Neal Cruz, man, is so good. So awesome.
Yeah.
But
yeah, 40-man roster. But it was a cool dude because I remember watching this dude out at Nelson Wolf because he was a Padres prospect, was Sawinski.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's good too, yeah.
Jack Sawinski. And his thing was cool because he hit his first, I think it was his first homer, or he hit a homer in Wrigley, but he grew up like
they also have
like one L stop from
Brian
Wrigley.
Hayes.
Yeah.
Brian Hayes is pretty good too.
Yeah, like check out like Sawinski's like hit a homer. He's doing so good this year. What's his? He did good last year too.
He just has a baseball name, Jack Sawinski.
I mean, he hit 19 bombs in the show last year.
What is that fucking shit called?
Pretty solid dude that the Pods passed on. They were keeping him a double-A guy. If you look at his, I don't know who else was part of the Jack Sawinski trade, but he was down here in San Antonio doing the thing.
Sawinski sounds like a brand of sauerkraut. Sawinski sauerkraut. I don't know why I always got to talk about fucking food products, but anyway.
He got moved up pretty quick once he got traded in the 21-22 season. I mean, he was in the show. He played a lot of games. Considering he hit 19, he only had 106 games. Yeah, Sawinski. Was he wondering? I don't think he had qualifying plate appearances, so he's rookie status this year. What's his rookie status? He did exceed his limits last year, so he can't get rookie of the year. That's a hell of a year for 100 games, dude. But Pods let him go. I guess you'd think you're stacked. Pods minor league system is interesting to me because we get to watch it front row here in San Antonio.
Yeah, it's crazy because like sometimes the players that get called up, you're like, I remember that guy's name, but I'm trying to remember watching him play. You know?
Yeah, I don't know if I can do the missions.
Sure, you could. Yeah, San Antonio missions.
But
it is. I know, like last year or 2 years ago, whenever Fernando, I think it was this year. Yeah, or last year. I'm sorry, when Fernando Tatis did his rehab stint and he came and played here for a little while, a couple games.
Yeah,
that drew quite the crowd. Obviously, I'm like, you don't like all these people that came out of nowhere. I'm like, you don't give a shit about baseball. You just want to see Tatis. You know?
Yeah, Tatis.
But I will say though, the Mission Stadium is pretty full of people, so I'll say that. There's usually a lot of supporters.
There's some crazy guys on the team this year. One of the most amazing athletes I've ever seen. If he's still on the team, Brantley Bell's Buddy Bell's son, but got it's a Corey Howell. No, that's a good hitter. He wasn't the first. This guy was like a first rounder, I think. He got moved up.
There was what was his name? Stewie Ruiz or something. He was a pretty good player.
Did they move him? He wasn't hitting that good. His name was. I guess I gotta look at the rest of the Pods organization.
We'll call him Tony Barrett.
Yeah, Pods. Affiliates.
Bonnie said great poop stories.
That's a good poop story. Everybody's got one.
Who hasn't shit their pants at least once in their life? Right?
Got to do it right. Where's the AAA? El Paso. Did this guy get moved up or moved down? The guy I'm thinking of. I think he got moved down.
Well,
did they trade him? Anyway.
Come to the Missions game and watch someone chug a fucking big ass cup of tea.
I got the footage of you doing the tea. You got screwed, but.
See, I didn't spill any tea. They spilled half of it on them. You know?
It's shady.
I've done that tea chug twice. I'm over 2. But third time's a charm. You know
yep. Well, I'm sure I'm forgetting something. But that's all I had for today. We can get you out of here in time. Short show, roughly.
Next week, we'll talk about my other segment that I had next week.
No, let's do it now. That's why I've been.
That's fine.
That's why I've been. Treading water. What is that? What are we doing? We're doing the. It was
like 5 players. Like what? Like we thought would have happened to their career if they would have stuck just with baseball.
Yeah, let's knock that out, dude. I think there's some good ones because I got one for you.
There was
Pepper Martin.
Yeah, there was one I wasn't aware of. I didn't realize that Patrick Mahomes was a pretty good, decent high school baseball player.
Which would make sense. His
dad
I knew he had
played.
MLBer.
I knew he had played, but I was not aware that he was actually pretty decent.
Well, the interesting one would have been Elway because he was a freak. He was a freak. I think Elway might have been like a 20-game winner type, probably, with that cannon.
But, like, I mean, obviously, like, everybody knows Bo Jackson, and he was a beast at both.
He hit over 500, I think, his senior year at Auburn or whatever it was.
But I do wonder, like, how much more of a legend he would have been if he would have just stayed just with baseball.
Just baseball?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo Jackson's numbers don't, like,
he was so good when
he was so good.
And the fact that he was able to do both and make an all-star appearance with both sports is insane.
Let's see what his...
Bo knows, but, you know... And also with, like, Deion Sanders, like, you know, he could play baseball, but, like...
His numbers were, like, really never... His homers... Like, if he would have played, he'd have been a 400 home run guy if he would have played all those years with doing, like, 30 homer seasons.
If he would dedicate himself just to this, he would have been, like, one of the best of all time. And especially with Deion Sanders could have put up some numbers. Not saying, like, hitting home runs and stuff, but, like, he would put up some good stats otherwise.
Yeah. Deion could play baseball for Florida State.
He was the only player to ever appear in the World Series and a Super Bowl.
Deion, how do you spell Deion?
D-E-I-O-N.
Yep. Deion was a player. Like his minor league stats are kind of fun too.
He played for the Yankees too, right? At some point, the Braves.
Man, he played forever. He was like 9 years.
So if he would have just stuck purely to baseball, dude, he could have been great.
He did it a while. Like he played with Cincinnati. He got 144 games in.
Would he have been Hall of Famer? No, but he would have been a very serviceable player.
I guess the seasons are kind of deconflicted, but yeah, he was. He's a ball player. They played AAA there. He's hung on, I guess, doing AAA for Cincinnati, Toronto. That's crazy.
You know what I mean, though? Like, he wouldn't have been a Hall of Famer or nothing, but he would have been a very serviceable player, I think.
Let's look at Russell Wilson.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like, I mean, people that know he got drafted by the Rockies.
He play some minors?
Yeah. What was it? The Rangers that he got drafted by? I was
spelling Russell Wilson wrong, right?
It's USSELL. But like, so he was the Rockies' 4th round draft pick in 2010.
Russell Wilson,
right? 2010 draft pick by the Rockies. He actually played 2 years in a minor league system. So
Russell, 2 L's.
Yeah.
2 L's? Didn't he play minors? Didn't? I guess not.
So,
2 S's, 2 L's, right?
Yeah, it's RUSSELL.
I guess he didn't. He's not in baseball, bro. It doesn't mean you didn't.
Yeah.
I'm spelling that right, I think. Who's the other dude?
There was also Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray.
Did Kyler?
Yeah. He was a 9th overall pick by the A's in 2019.
Oh, he did. Kyler Murray got some minor league time.
Yeah. By the A's. He got drafted by the A's.
He got drafted and had no he had stats. Look at this.
Yeah. But see, like...
Oh, no, he doesn't. This is just him in Oklahoma.
Yeah. But the thing was that...
10 bombs.
Yeah.
Oklahoma. No, I guess he didn't have any minors.
Batted 296. But he obviously became a stud quarterback, won the Heisman, and obviously was going to go to football.
The craziest one is read like the...
And then, of course, you had...
Danny Ainge is the craziest one. He was like... You got to read his bio. This dude was like taking classes at BYU and then like suiting up for the Blue Jays. Wouldn't that be so weird? You're like in class with a guy. You're like, I think I saw you. I think I saw you on TV. Not that great of a baseball player, but Ainge is like a legendary athlete from Eugene, Oregon. And he was an amazing wide receiver too, but he didn't play NFL. But freakish athlete. That's pretty crazy. Did you play NBA, play in the NBA, play in the Major League? I wonder why they moved him up after like AAA. Is it just like he was so insane because he didn't like really show out in the minors? You just like already told yourself that he was the greatest athlete ever, I guess. Anyway, we're babbling now. Show. Fernando Rodney Hall of Fame. Wrap the show. I don't know. Did we have any sound checkers? Did our sound okay, or who knows?
No one said anything bad.
Nobody said anything bad, so it must be able to hear. It looks like we have levels.
Yeah, I'll definitely get some more. What do you call it?
It's the end of the show ramble.
I'll get some more details with this, so I can actually have something to go in depth with.
I was gonna try to do a top 5 because your top 5s were so good. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Is when your prep segment comes, I get excited.
My top 5.
Yeah, your top 5.
I don't know what I'm gonna do next week. I don't know. Top 5 something. I always try to do something funny because
maybe I can find the top 5 cup shots myself and suggest that.
Yeah. So.
Pepper Martin almost played in the NFL. The commando third baseman for the Gas House Gang in the 20s.
Dude, because like Patrick Mahomes,
30s?
Patrick Mahomes, if he would have stayed with baseball, he would have been fucking good. A good pitcher.
Mahomes,
reliever.
He'd have been a 90 guy. But the crazy part is, I bet even with like how much strain it puts on your arm, he probably did make the right decision. He was so good.
Yeah, because I mean, throwing a baseball is already a unnatural motion as it is.
They won 3 World Series,
but I don't know, he would have been. Patrick Mahomes would have probably been a good reliever. You know, maybe a closer, possibly, maybe a starter. I don't know, but definitely a reliever, a good reliever. That's just my take. I'm not like some badass expert that knows.
Sure, he would have been. He was a go to all those area code games and all the stuff for the high school prospects.
I did not know that Michael Vick was drafted by the MLB. Michael Vick is one of my favorite fucking football players of all time.
Michael Vick.
I love Michael Vick. I know that
would make sense. He was a freakish athlete. That dude could do.
Dude,
anything.
I love Michael Vick. I know that Allen Iverson too. I think played corner in college or something. He played something.
Vick.
Or not college. I'm sorry, high school.
Michael Vickers.
Oh yeah, because you got Allen Iverson too, like from the same area, I think.
Yeah.
AI was a badass basketball player.
Yeah, those guys are amazing. Iverson was awesome at football too.
Who?
Iverson.
Yeah, he played in high school. Yeah,
it was insane. He won the state championship or something. Who else was a two-way guy?
I tried to think of.
I don't know. Pepper Martin was like a kicker. I figured like Brooklyn had a team. Branch Rickey was like, I'm going to teach you to be a kicker. He's like, dude, I think I figured it out.
Michael Vick would have been a beast at baseball. He would have been so fucking. He would have had so many stolen bases.
Yeah.
Like Michael Vick, even later in his career when he was with he could still kind of run really good.
There was some dude I saw on Twitter. He was
really good.
Two-way player in Major League Baseball and hockey. The only one I heard of, and it was like somebody was tweeting about it.
I thought he was going to say something cool, like he was a Major League bowler, and he was a
player.
Vic was drafted in 30th round in 2000. Dan Marino
MLB players
as well.
who played hockey.
These are all suggestions that Bonnie's make that he said.
I knew Glavin, Niger Morgan,
Justin Morneau. Oh, Justin Morneau. Oh shit. Hockey and
was recruited, but one dude did it. This guy, James Riley, first to ever play both professional baseball and a native of New Brunswick, Canada. Riley, 17 games in the NHL, 90 games, and won the Stanley Cup with the Seattle Metropolitans in 1970. That was really old. Riley played professional baseball. Quite the mix. Did Jim Thorpe? He did everything. I think. Let's find Jim Thorpe. Talk about the ultimate.
He even worked full time. I don't know. It's just cool, man. Like, because I know there was I was reading a story too where Deion Sanders, one of the his story. He tried to literally play in a football game and a baseball game in the same day for NFL and MLB.
Deion?
Yeah, because it was during the '90s, I guess, when the Braves had their playoff runs. You know.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
That was insane. Did you know about the side story with him and Tim McCarver on that?
No.
So Deion's Tim McCarver was talking smack, like this dude's heart isn't in it if he's trying to do it because he needs to commit to the Braves because it's the postseason or whatever. He was saying it's more important that this baseball postseason and not try to pull this stunt. Essentially, is what McCarver I think was saying. And Deion took that personally and dumped the whole thing of ice on him. But in that, I think maybe more people took Deion. I don't know who took whose sides, but what I think I just thought of the other day, not that it's unique to me, that needs to be mentioned. And McCarver, by the way, was Bob Gibson's catcher, but McCarver was such a gall darn good announcer. He really was. That little incident probably got more run. If that didn't happen, people would be thinking, oh, dang, that guy was a good announcer. McCarver was such a good announcer. Really was, man. He did postseason on Fox forever. The dude, I think that's a fair opinion to have. I don't know, is it a stunt? The playoffs are really important, whatever. But it turned into a thing. But, man, that guy called games, and he was good.
But at that point, because it would have been, September probably? Yeah.
Yeah.
October?
Something.
Yeah. So,
postseason.
The football season at that point is still kind of young. I feel like you probably should focus on baseball because it's the playoffs.
Well, Deion would throw ice on you, but
I like Deion Sanders a lot. I really do, but sometimes he's a little too cocky for me.
Yeah, cocky. One of those guys that can back it up.
Especially.
But I like Deion too. You need flashy guys. You can't have all this, 2% milk people where it's just I don't got no. You need some people that are. They're outspoken about all kinds of stuff.
He's talking a lot of shit right now for Colorado. I really hope they have a good season, man, because he's going to look stupid if they don't.
I think they might. They got some ball players up there, and talent matters in D1 football. But, McCarver was a hell of an announcer. All right. I'm done running my suck, man. Good show.
Yeah.
No, you got to keep going. I don't know.
Not even what I was going to say. I was just...
Thanks to Bonnie. We'll go to ATG. Check. Well, that's that thing. ATG over here.
Our peaks.
ATG, always doing good stuff. We got to check in with the Trey Roberts thing now. That looks like a good show. Congrats to Jake, on the grad thing, 58-59.
He's gonna fucking go out there in the world and fucking do some crazy shit. Because he's a history major, right?
Look, we show up just because we put him in the title.
Yeah.
We got so much.
Dude, that's the first thing that popped up.
Funny shit.
So the first time I went to YouTube, I typed in ATG, that fitness channel came up. I'm like, I'm pretty sure
there's a fitness channel. This thing right here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Fuck them, dude. They're posers.
That's like the guy. That's like the 3BGB guy that was feeding his cats.
He disappeared.
Did he? He's locked up.
He probably got arrested for doing.
I'm not even saying that. That was a joke, dude. Don't come kill me.
The feds found him, man. The feds found him.
He loved his cats. I'll say that.
3BGB breakfast.
Oh, I got the last segment. We found a baby bird in the driveway last night. I was turning off the sprinklers because it rained last.
Yeah.
A big rainstorm yesterday. So I was turn off thing. I almost essentially stepped on this thing. I was like, what is this? It's a baby bird. So now we took it inside and we went to Walmart and got a bunch of night crawlers. And we're chopping them up, trying to squirt worms into this bird's mouth.
He's like a little baby
I don't know. Like, they're like, oh, don't touch them. Their parents are around. And I was like, no, dude, this guy was totally marooned in the middle of the driveway. Nobody was around.
Because I think birds, like, if you can't fly, they abandon you. Like, they feel like when they push you out of the thing.
There's a big nest up in that tree, but it was a hell of a fall if that's what he fell out of and then, like, bounced off the roof. But he was screwed, so we're trying to save his life. That's the other. But, all right, man, thanks for the good show.
Oh, shit. So it says Jake starts University of Alabama in the fall, maybe.
Well, he's going to be the head coach of the baseball team. You know what I'm saying?
He's going to take classes and coach baseball.
Head coach. He knows all the advanced.
The red.
He knows everything there is to know
wigglers?
about baseball. That's the worms we're feeding. But yeah, so Jake will be the head coach of Roll Tide.
Can you imagine the youngest
College World Series
baseball
coming
coach
up?
ever? I mean, I don't know. It could change some things.
Yeah, what happened to that? Let's check Twitter on Bama baseball gambling. I just heard the dude got dismissed. And then I haven't heard a doggone thing since then. May 5th's kind of the last thing I've heard.
I don't really know a whole lot about Alabama baseball except they have the Montgomery Biscuits, the minor league team. That's really the only thing I know in terms of Alabama baseball.
For weeks, way before his recent firing, somebody was calling for his firing. Nobody listened.
Nobody listened to me.
SEC expectations for baseball. Well,
so
that's cool. They'll probably go to some
history
games.
Major, sports management minor.
It's going to be awesome.
History is definitely fun, but it's a lot of dates to fucking remember.
Iowa State has suspended players.
Uh-oh.
Merging college sports gambling scandal. Iowa State. This is new news. The Iowa State, and Bama are a teeny tiny tip of the gambling iceberg. Everyone but me bets on sports on their phones.
Here we go. Everyone but me.
I don't know. You can't really believe shit on Twitter, but this is the one thing.
The internet. Yeah.
I do remember about being at South Alabama. Guy, like just a kid, like a student comes up and is like, hey, you want to gamble on this weekend's games? And he had a sheet, like a printout.
Shit.
And it just had little check boxes, and then you could put like how much you want, check box, $5. It was very professional. I was like, is this kid doing this or is he working for some head bookie guy, and he just has like these other little bookies run around campus? So like I ran into like college sports gambling, and I was an athlete. I wasn't like betting on our games, but there is definitely sports gambling under the table happening on in the state of Alabama at South Alabama, and you could bet on any doggone thing your little heart desired. I didn't really care because I was like, I wasn't thinking Pete Rose, and I didn't have any money to gamble either, but I was like, man, I thought that was very professional. His little sheet he was handing out or whatever. I was like, nice side hustle. We're all broke college students, but who knows what came of it.
Because all I know is
rest in peace, Vida Blue, legend.
Yes, sir. We'll be in the MiLB Hall of Fame one day.
And when he goes into heaven, and he's going to check around and make sure that Charlie Finley got sent to hell. But if Charlie Finley is in heaven, is his future owner, he's probably going to kick him in the nuts and then say all is forgiven. I don't know how heaven works. I haven't been there. So, all right, I'm gonna officially put end.
To get out behind the barn.
End the stream. Seguin River Monsters. I gotta get it. I gotta do some more research on.
I do know
on the roster for the River Monsters. Get ready for the season, but
because it's literally like every day. You get like one day off a month.
Yeah. But, all right, thanks for tuning in, folks. The scandal, cheating is not cheating. Defend it. Unless it's really nasty cheating, but even then, it's your job to defend it.
And remember, Ken Phelps.
Yeah, that's
helps.
the outro. Ken Phelps. Vote for Ken Phelps because
he helps.
Ken helps.
Stolen that from ATG themselves, but it's a great quote.
Ken going to the White House.
Goddamn governor.
I guess you have to go to YouTube to end the stream. All right, thanks, folks. And we're out. Bow. End. Click end.